So Elizabeth Warren has a wealth tax. Bernie Sanders has a bigger wealth tax. Elizabeth Warren wants to fair the game up a bit. She still says she's a capitalist to her bones, which might be reassuring to a certain segment of voters. But any scenario where even the most modest improvement of the lot of working people is going to make Stuart Varney throw up his green juice smoothie.
Elizabeth Warren has been gaining ground. In many polls, she is now right behind Joe Biden, and the gap is narrowing. She bashes the rich, and she bashes capitalism. To far-left activists, that's good.
She doesn't bash capitalism.
She does not bash capitalism.
She identifies as a capitalist, even though, as far as I know, she's not technically a capitalist.
She wants to make capitalism better.
Yeah, she's a capitalist reformer.
They love her wealth tax. They love the revolution she demands for corporate America. So let's look at those policies. What impact would they really have? Okay, her wealth tax would have cut the net worth of the 15 richest Americans in half. Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates would have had hundreds of billions of dollars confiscated. Now, some people think that's just fine. They don't need all that
Here's
money.
what I think. Should be more.
Should be far more. But
should be infinitely more. But I will clap for a base hit. So, okay, keep it going.
Yeah, frankly, they should both be proposing caps on how much wealth the
Right, there should be a limit as to how much one person can suck out to begin with, but okay.
They don't need all that money. It's not fair. Senator Warren is playing to the jealousy factor, always present in politics and always ugly. Truth is, accumulated private capital is the engine of growth and innovation for the future. Confiscate it, and we all suffer. Then, more importantly, there is her Accountable Capitalism Act, and this is a real threat to everybody's money. Senator Warren would force all big companies to take a lot of their profit away from shareholders, and it would be given to the workforce, the community, customers, the local and global environment, and community and societal factors, whatever that is. America's great companies forced to dance to a socialist drumbeat. Forget about investing in stocks for your retirement. The profits that support stock prices would have been diverted. 73% of the value of all stocks today is held by people over 55. Stocks are your retirement vehicle. Warren would ruin your retirement. The bottom line is this: socialists don't redistribute wealth, they destroy it.
Wow. I mean, it's just incredible, like, how crackpot, these guys are so insane that somebody's saying, like, she's not even talking about, like, this is not New Deal's ambition. She's literally saying, like, I mean, basically Warren is proposing a policy set that if American politics wasn't so utterly corrupted and hollowed out in the last couple of decades, this is what you would have done the whole time. You would have said, we're going to trade. We're going to kind of transition the economy. It's not going to be good for a lot of the sectors of the workforce. But what we're going to do is we're going to incorporate some of the German stakeholder models. We're going to have regulation that's fit to purpose, that parallels the modern economy. Like, I'm in no way diminishing what she's putting on the table to saying like what Bernie's offering really is a fundamental disjuncture in terms of distribution, power, and democracy. That's why I support him. Warren's politics are like, if we weren't so insanely cravenly corrupt, we would have been doing all of these things every step of the way. It would have just, you would have gone, and then smart people like Elizabeth Warren could have gone to a Clinton administration and been like, well, you know what, you probably shouldn't do this with derivatives, and you still need bankruptcy protections. And Bill Clinton would be like, all right, that sounds about right. We need to be fit to purpose, instead of like, well, I hear that, but I also hear this amazing fucking party that Robert Rubin's hosting. If we can only say that people can count future pretend profits as current profits.
Yeah, well, they're going to say this stuff no matter what the policies
That
are,
is also
as long
true.
as this person is to the left of center. They said the exact same stuff about Obama.
They said it about
They said he
Obama, who's
was
not to the
socialist.
left of center.
So,
He's not to
given
the
that
left,
fact, I don't think that we should be afraid of socialistic policies on the left, because they're going to call them that no matter what they are.
Even noted right-wing cyborg Pete Buttigieg has made the same point.
If we're at the point where they have to justify or argue for shareholders getting profits over workers, I think we're at a pretty good place.
Yeah, I think we're doing pretty well when
'Cause
it's just like money back for the community. What
Shareholders-
about people who shareholders? I mean,
He tries to paint shareholders as workers, and they play to their audience. They scare old people.
this
They
is
say your retirement's going to be ruined, when in fact the thing that's actually going to ruin your retirement is if they privatize Social Security, if we don't get single payer health care, if you don't have long-term care. That's what's going to ruin your retirement.
Well, that's 100% right, but it's also interesting that this is the other big advantage of ambitious universal programs, and at least some structural programs, because it's easier to lie and fearmonger. Like, there's going to be some people in the audience, they'll believe any lie that you tell about Venezuela or whatever group they're demonizing and lying about. But that's a little bit higher likelihood of well, I agree with you about all that, but I'm on Social Security. And actually, maybe this Wall Street has not been so great for my personal retirement. Like, when you're starting to BS about people's actual, stuff they might have actual interaction with all these fantasies about, you're talking about a different ballgame, and I think a harder lie to pull off. All right, final call.